Hello again. There is a reason why we regard American universities such as Harvard and Yale and British institutions like Oxford and Cambridge as being somehow the top universities, the best of the lot. This is because they require extremely high academic grades for entry, and only applicants with the very best marks have any chance of getting in. For some, this approach, that of academic excellence, poses a problem. It is this: the students who do best at school and get the highest scores in British A levels or the American Scholastic Aptitude Test are almost invariably of white European or East Asian origin. Some young people from South Asia also do very well. They're usually Gujarati Hindus. Left at the starting blocks tend to be people of African ancestry. In Britain, students of Chinese heritage do best in A levels, then come white students, and training well behind are those from African or Caribbean families. The same thing is observed in the American Scholastic Aptitude Test. Asian Americans at the top and African Americans at the bottom. All this means that Harvard and Oxford are very diverse in the sense that they are not monopolised by white students. There are plenty of Chinese and Indian students at both institutions. The number of students at Oxford from Singapore is simply astounding. The problem, though, for some people is that very few black people are able to get into these, the best universities. This is not due to racist admissions procedures which act to discourage black entrants. It is because young black people do not score highly enough in admissions tests and have not the same brilliant academic records as Chinese, Indian and white students. If racism were to blame, then of course this would work against Indians and Chinese students as well. It does not. Only black people. Various methods have been devised to give black students a leg up, as it were. In Britain there are what is known as contextual offers to those from poor schools who have been in care. The Americans have similar schemes, but even so, it is very hard to get black students into the universities to study seriously difficult subjects, such as physics, mathematics or economics. They cannot cope with the rigor of these courses. Now, Harvard have come up with a brilliant plan. They're going to stop requiring academic test scores from the Scholastic Aptitude Test and so on. This will make it far easier for them to simply select as many black students as they wish, and also to limit the number of Asian Americans who get in, to operate a quota system, in fact. In the description to this video, I give a link to a piece from the New York Times about this initiative. Harvard and Yale have both been in trouble, of course, because they operate quota systems to try and stop too many Chinese Americans from getting in. So they're already busy trying to rig the admissions by deciding ahead of time how many black students they want to get in and trying to stop too many Asian Americans entering. What this will mean in practice is that it will be necessary to lower the standard of teaching and the education on offer, because unless you only take the most accomplished and intellectually gifted students, they will not be able to cope with the intense mental effort required to study at such places. At Oxford University, for example, if you wish to study economics, then you will need to be able to use calculus. If you cannot handle calculus, then the economics at Oxford is out. Now, calculus is not taught at GCSE level mathematics, and very few black pupils in Britain take A-level maths where it is part of the syllabus. This means that if Oxford wanted to take more black students to do economics, then they would either have to simplify the course and drop the bits which need calculus, or waste time teaching the black undergraduates calculus so that they could cope with the maths needed to study the subject, and catch up with the white and the Chinese students. This same problem applies to any number of subjects, and if Harvard and Oxford really want to get more students, then they will have to make their courses a lot easier than they are now. That is to say, if they want to get more black students, which in turn would mean that these universities will no longer be the best in the world academically. I make no comment on whether this difficulty is some inherent problem or whether it's connected with culture, social class and so on. The fact is that it is a problem. Birmingham Medical School famously tried to increase diversity in this way with very poor results. The really crazy bit is that both Harvard and Oxford are already very diverse. If by diverse you mean that they are not exclusively white and upper class. No shortage at all of people with different coloured skins at those places. No shortage either of working class people. Once again though, we see a familiar trend, but one which is seldom spoken of out loud, that when people talk vaguely of increasing diversity or making this or that institution more inclusive, what they invariably mean is more black people. It doesn't matter how many Indians or Chinese there are. If you don't have many black people in a place, then you are not diverse enough.